most of them are made in China, and most of them are made in our factory. Yeah, I'm telling you. But why these luxury brands never tell you that? Because they are trying to pretend to be products of some sophisticated European countries like Italy or France.
We are going to be successful. In a few weeks, the shop was open. We sell the most expensive products in a country where everybody was going by bicycle.
Are the suppliers behind Solomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, First, 造成 factory.
It's not just calling them out, they're showing the world exactly where your $1,000 handbag or your $100 leggings are really being made. They're now offering you the same exact stuff, no middleman, no markup.
Things just went completely sideways for Louis Vuitton, and it's a total mess. Customers are storming stores, heated and demanding answers after Chinese manufacturers spilled some serious tea about the brand's trade secrets. Louis Vuitton, known for that fancy Made in Europe label, is now knee-deep in backlash from buyers who feel straight-up tricked and betrayed. And don't get it twisted, this ain't a small PR hiccup like Balenciaga had. This is a full-blown identity crisis. How do you even begin to tell loyal buyers that the brand they thought stood for class and luxury might be at the center of one of fashion's biggest scams?
A slowdown and a contraction in the global luxury market. About 50 million people either opted out or were forced out of the luxury market over the past 2 years.
Let's get into it. It all kicked off with a bombshell video out of a factory in China. And trust, it spread faster than a TikTok dance trend. A worker casually dropped some jaw-dropping info about how Louis Vuitton bags are actually made. And now everybody's talking. Your feed, your group chats, the streets. This is all anyone's buzzing about.
You recognize this style, this bag? Of course you do. For the past more than 30 years, we have been the OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Gucci, Prada, Coach, Louis Vuitton, you name it. But for this, I am not proud because we were only making our wages. The profit margin for the people who are actually making the bags are very low.
But in case you missed it, here's the deal. The US tried putting pressure on China with new tariffs, thinking it would flex global control. But China said, bet, and responded by leaking behind-the-scenes details that show just how much the West relies on Chinese factories, including the luxury world. Now the truth's out, and it's ugly. Turns out, over half of Louis Vuitton bags are actually made in China. Meanwhile, the brand's been selling us dreams of handcrafted European luxury. That's the real sting.
Now you know China made everything, but 90% of the websites they are telling you now is not even in English. Here are 3 better websites that actually work for you. For light industry and daily use, go to madeinchina.com. Founded in 1998, leading B2B portal. Many well-established factories have open stores on this platform.
Buyers shelled out thousands thinking they were buying elite craftsmanship. But what they got? A label with a lie behind it. And people aren't having it. Yeah, the bags were handmade. But here's the kicker. That's not what's got folks losing it. The Made in China part already had heads spinning. But what's really lighting people up is how cheap these bags actually are to make.
The chip came out. A little over 1 square foot of vaqueta leather came out. 2 different finishes. The best vaqueta leathers in the market is $7, $8. At their level, let's give them $10. And you need 2 square foot. So $20 for the leather. $5 for the materials, inner linings, fabrics, authentication, chip, and $10 for the labor.
A factory worker dropped the bomb. Some Louis Vuitton bags cost just $15 to produce. 15 bucks. And yet, they're being sold for thousands. Thousands. For what? A logo? Because once the bags land in Europe, all they're really adding is the label. That's it. So honestly, can you even blame loyal customers for wanting to tear down the whole store? Imagine being sold on this dream of handcrafted, exclusive, elite fashion, only to find out it was all smoke and mirrors.
Okay, let's go.
How do you even rock that same bag now without side-eyeing it?
Okay, so with all of the hype about the Chinese-made bags versus in-factory bags, so this is one on the go Louis Vuitton that I bought from DH Gate, and then I also bought it from the actual store.
Louis Vuitton, of course, tried to do damage control. They dropped a statement claiming it's all lies and that their products are still made to the highest standards. But come on, who's buying that now? It's not that people think Louis Vuitton can't make solid stuff. It's that they're starting to feel straight up played. Have folks been spending crazy money for years just to fund some massive corporate game? And if that wasn't enough, China's out here showing customers how to spot which luxury pieces are really made in their factories. The wild part? The tips are working. People are checking their bags, and yep, it's all lining up. Shoppers everywhere are shook, asking questions they never thought they'd have to ask. Here's where things take a wild turn. Some folks are saying this is just the beginning, and honestly, they might be right. China's not backing down, and word is, more factory workers are gearing up to spill even more shady secrets about what really goes down behind those luxury doors. If that happens, the entire fashion game could flip overnight. We're talking not just Louis Vuitton, but the whole high-end industry might get dragged. If these workers keep talking, things could get real messy, real fast. But here's the twist. Not everybody's mad. Some people honestly couldn't care less if the bags were made on the moon. If it's got that LV logo, they're sold. For real, if you're buying it for the flex, you're probably not sweating the label on the inside. The brand name alone holds all the weight for that crowd, and the price? Just part of the image. Still, the drama's far from over, because Louis Vuitton really said, "Watch this," and made it worse. Just when things couldn't get messier, they added insult to injury. It's like they're professionally trolling their customers at this point. The real gag? They didn't even try to be slick with it. Here's what went down. Out of nowhere, the brand dropped an announcement like, "Hey guys, by the way, we're raising prices 10% starting May 1st, but only in the US. Yep, they gave people a few weeks heads up to grab whatever they could before the price hike. Real cute, right? Like, thanks for the warning. But considering the chaos they're already in, it just feels like they're testing people's limits. Louis Vuitton's moving slick, like real sneaky dicky vibes. No heads up, no press release, nothing. Out of nowhere, they quietly slid in a 3% to 6% price hike across the board. Bags, perfumes, wallets, everything. Folks were finding out at the register. Imagine showing up for your favorite LV perfume and boom, it's $40 more expensive. Just like that. No courtesy text, no warning. And this ain't new behavior either. Back during the COVID lockdown, when people were stuck at home saving money, Louis Vuitton looked at those bank accounts and said, "Let's eat." Prices were going up then too, with excuses like supply chain issues and raw material costs. But come on now, it's 2025. The pandemic's long gone, so what's the excuse this time? Because right now, it's giving greedy. It's giving, "We want your money, no explanations." And it gets nastier. Word is, prices might go even higher. Here's the game though. Louis Vuitton knows their name holds serious weight. You're not just buying a bag, you're buying status. So even if they raise prices in silence, they're counting on hype beasts and brand loyalists to still line up, no questions asked. They're banking on people being too embarrassed to complain or walk away at the register. But here's the twist. They've got more hikes planned, and next time, it's gonna be official. Basically, they're betting you won't notice, or won't care, that the products aren't fully made in Europe. They're not even announcing it the way Hermès did. Instead, they're quietly stacking profits while playing mind games with what luxury even means. It's straight up disrespectful. Louis Vuitton said, "Transparency? Never heard of her." The arrogance is wild, and trust, other brands are watching. Chanel's already getting real quiet too. And when luxury brands go silent, that's when their fans start stressing. Right now, Louis Vuitton's showing us exactly how not to treat loyal customers. This whole mess? One of their worst PR disasters ever. But it's not over. Thanks to the leaks from China, Louis Vuitton isn't just taking the L, they're allegedly firing back with lawsuits. Yep, they're reportedly suing their own manufacturers for exposing trade secrets to the public. And they're not alone. Hermès is allegedly in the trenches too, battling the same drama. Word is, both brands are accusing certain factories of pretending to be official partners. And it gets worse. They're also reportedly suing over a wave of nearly perfect knockoffs flooding the market. These leaks didn't just expose secrets. They handed bootleggers the entire blueprint. Louis Vuitton's not letting up. They're coming in swinging. Word on the street is they're demanding massive damages from longtime partners, accusing them of breaking NDAs and leaking private designs to outside dealers. And these aren't just random factories. These are manufacturers they've allegedly trusted for years. So yeah, this one's gonna get real messy. But here's the jaw-dropper. Insiders are whispering that some of these factories were pulling double duty, making real LV bags by day and pumping out knockoffs by night. That's wild. And while it's shady, it's not totally shocking. Knockoffs are everywhere. But now, it's coming from inside the house. Louis Vuitton and Hermès are throwing lawsuits like it's dodgeball, suing anyone they think might be behind the leaks or the fakes. But while they're busy claiming they make everything in-house, folks are asking the obvious. Where's the proof? Show us the workers. Show us the factory. You know, the way Chanel has. Instead, these brands go radio silent. One person even said, Ferrari and Porsche show you how engines are built, but y'all can't show us how a bag is stitched? It's a valid question. At this point, people are wondering, do these luxury brands even have big factories in Italy or France? Another user put it best. They can sue all they want, but if they can't prove China's lying, it just looks even worse. With everything on the line, this is the kind of info these brands should have shared without even being asked. Meanwhile, Chinese companies are dropping full lists of their manufacturers and vendors, and they're straight up teaching folks how to shop directly from China. At this point, it's not even a secret. China's out here serving the entire globe. Let's be real for a sec. It's almost pointless for these luxury brands to keep denying. A smarter, honest response would have saved face. Instead, they're out here firing off lawsuits that probably won't stick. And honestly, no one saw this trade war and those wild tariffs getting this out of control. But it's not slowing down. If anything, it's heating up. Neither the US nor China is showing signs of backing off. And now, word is Louis Vuitton's CEO, Bernard Arnault, might be stepping down way earlier than expected. Y'all remember, he was supposed to run the game until he was 85. That gave him another decade to boss up. But now, he's 76, and insiders say he might be getting ready to tap out. And it's not just about age. Let's be real. Between skyrocketing tariffs, Chinese TikToks dragging luxury brands, and receipts proving made in France is really made in China, the pressure's getting real heavy. With those wild 1000% markups, things are getting real sticky. First, Hermès caught heat, and now Louis Vuitton's being dragged all over the internet. The luxury world is shaking, and Bernard might be making his exit before it all falls apart. But hold up, because that messy, unexpected retirement, it's not even the worst of it for him. Bernard's losing cash at lightning speed. Reports say the French billionaire just took a massive hit. More than $9 billion wiped from his fortune in one morning. That's after shares of his luxury empire, LVMH, dropped over 7% following a surprise dip in first quarter sales. Yeah, this isn't just bad PR anymore. It's giving full-on collapse energy. And honestly, it's going to take a miracle for these brands to climb back to the top. The luxury game ain't what it used to be, and people aren't blindly buying into the hype like before. This whole scandal cracked the illusion wide open, and now the question is, will they recover? Or is this the beginning of the end? But hey, drop 1,000 comments below because I need to hear what you think about all this madness. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want the tea to keep flowing. See you on the next one.